a few lads what's happened like that, and I think the reason why is because that when they actually leave the ground, when they finish training, there's not a lot for them to do. And that's what I'm saying. I think we should, I can't say we now because I'm not over that. I think that if you're looking at it from the youth side in England, I would bring them back in and say, look, we're going to work with the Centre of Excellence, or you're going to work with the academy. You keep their mind sharp, keep them happy, keep them doing things. I think that once you walk away from the club and you're by yourself, and you go in a room by yourself, no matter what age you are, you know, there are times you're going to get homesick, and especially for a young lad, if the training's gone wrong during the day, then it's not going to be helpful, you know, once he gets to that place at the night time. So they need a little bit more looking after once the training's finished, and I think a lot more would stay then.
There's another text in for you, Dave, as well. What needs to change in Irish football to entice more boys and girls into the game?
I think there's a lot of boys and girls in the game. I found that the interest is great. Possibly, you know, there's a little bit of split here from everybody, which I've noticed, where, you know, you've got your own sports and there's soccer, and sometimes people don't get together, do they? And I know with rugby in England, rugby and soccer in England are together because, you know, they do play on the grounds together. And maybe, dare I say, that the GA and soccer maybe could get together at times and link in. That comes from both sides. It doesn't just come from one, and maybe all sports would be successful then, and players would be more successful. So, you know, I think there's a bit of a split on sometimes where do I go and play? Do I go and play in that sport? Do I go and play in that sport? And the kids are split.
Well, there was a government survey done a couple of years ago, and the result of that was that soccer is actually the most played sport in this country, which I think a lot of people would be quite surprised to hear. So to the texter, there's no name on it. There is obviously a lot of boys and girls playing at the moment, but certainly with the girls, I know for definite there could be a lot more, and the problem is that the clubs aren't there for them, but we're all working on that together. Pat obviously is involved in Cork City here. What do you make of the Electricity League?
I think that from what I've seen, and I've been involved a lot with the coach education, a lot of the players over the last couple of years, and it's been great because they've come and they're wanting to learn the game. There's probably been the worst influence on the game over here is that, and maybe we're to blame a little bit in Cork, that the players were paid too much money for the crowds who was watching the game, and we've got to come back down a level now and say, look, you know, can we pay the players what we're getting in through the gates, or what we get through the sponsorship? You can't blame a player if he's been given a contract of whatever he's given, if the club's going to give it him. I think that now that we should be working hard to sort of make sure that the league survives, and it survives in a way that, you know, clubs aren't going out of business. And again, we've seen it at the end of this season where clubs have gone over the heads and paid out too much money, and they're struggling now.
Dave, of course, you're also involved with an international team, so you're kind of involved in all aspects, but tell us about the international team you're involved with. Well,
again, the international team I've been involved with for the past, this will be the fourth year now, is the Football for All, which is the under-18 boys learning difficulties. Now we've the past 3 years we've actually won the home internationals twice and finished runners-up once, and that's a great feat for the boys, because if you look at it, we are the smallest country when we're competing against some of the big ones, and it's great for the kids. And they, at the end of it all, come Christmas time, they go up to Dublin, and just like the senior players, they get a cap for playing for the country. So it's I'm very, very proud of that, and the lads have been smashing. And again, I'd like to say I fancy my chances again this year of winning it. It's over in England this year, so hopefully we've got a chance of bringing the trophy back.
So the FA might try and sign you up before you get back on the plane home, Dave, is it?
I don't know about that.
Keep your text coming in on 086 7200 931. As Dave is here and with his background in soccer across channel, we are going to have a little chat about the Premier League, and I suppose Liverpool, maybe they've fallen from grace a little bit, but they take on Wolves this weekend. They have their new manager Kenny Dalglish in place. They got 1 point from their last 3 games since he took over. Do you see Kenny maybe kind of bringing back Liverpool back to the days of at least challenging for a top 4 spot?
Yeah, I mean, just like Roy Hodgson, you know, when Roy Hodgson took over, he probably took over a team which was, you know, having difficulties at the time. So, you know, you got to feel sorry for him, and I think for Kenny Dalglish it's going to be a difficult time as well. I think that looking at him, you know, probably with him coming, there might be an upsurge, there might be some great performances, but I'm sure Kenny Dalglish and his staff know there's a long way ahead and a lot of work to do.
Well, I suppose, Dave, the only thing with Dalglish, with his, you know, track record at Liverpool and the esteem in which he's held, he'll get more time than Roy Hodgson would have got. You know, I mean, as Chris said, you know, 1 point out of the last, well, I know one was a cup game, but one draw out of 3 games. Roy Hodgson, if he was still there, he'd be pilloried for that. Like, whereas I suppose Kenny has the, you know, he's the Kenny Dalglish card, if you like. You know,
he's got the chance now. I suppose. You know that they've got a few more days left now to bring players in, and I'll be very surprised if any supporters even start judging him till February, because then he might have brought in 2 or 3 players which might change the team, and it might change things, and they might start getting results, because they did for a short while go on a decent run with Roy Hodgson, didn't you? And it looks like they got things together, but. Yeah,
but it seems now in the Premiership, every manager is only kind of 3 defeats away from being the next one to go. Like, isn't he? That's the way with the pressure. Like, if you lose a few games, like suddenly.
Yeah, I think all managers are feeling that now, aren't they? Whether if you look at it, not just the Premier League, I've never seen so many managers lose their jobs over in England over the past couple of months.
But it probably starts from what's happening there, doesn't it? Really, like that it filters down through the.
It filters down through the leagues, and some people who've been doing decent jobs had lost their position, and sometimes you know, you can't understand what the chief executive or the chairman had done to relieve the person of the duties, and everybody works hard, and sometimes, you know, the manager and the coach can be working really hard, you know, on and off the pitch and the training, and sometimes the players are letting them down, and there's never a finger pointed at them, is it? It's the manager's fault in the end, you know, but it's a team, and the manager and the players are all part of a team.
Great stuff. So, lads, we might just get a verdict on you, Wolves and Liverpool, Pat.
I think Kenny would get his first win. That was an easy one.
Dave?
I think that'll be a draw.
Liverpool for the win.
Okay, now, Dave, I know you're fond of Arsenal's style of play, and
very much so, yeah.
They're taking on Wigan. Obviously, they beat Leeds during the week, and they won last weekend as well. Do you expect them to continue, make a three on the bounce?
You would expect that, but let's give Wigan a little bit of credit as well. You know, they had a torrid start to the season, and the gaffer there has done a magnificent job, and also he's a purist. He likes to play the game the right way, and he's got Wigan playing the best they can be. And I'm not saying that it'll be a walkover for Arsenal, but you would expect Arsenal to win that game.
Rob?
Yeah, I'd expect Arsenal to win it. The only threat Wigan pose really is Rodallega up front for them, who's playing very well at the moment, but I can't see Arsenal really slipping up at all.
Pat, do you want to?
Yeah, Arsenal, you'd have to fancy Arsenal at home. I think the disadvantage with Wigan playing ball is that it will suit Arsenal, you know, being an open game, you know, that they will come to play ball, and that'll obviously suit Arsenal, eh?
Now, Dave, I don't think we mentioned this already, but of course you were involved in Manchester United, that small little club over there in England, and they're playing Birmingham. But what was your role at Manchester United?
I was the assistant football development officer there, and had a great time. Loved it. You know, you got a chance to meet the players and not actually work with the players, because you're working on the football development side, which were the younger ones. But you know, I was lucky enough each match day to be in charge of the ball boys on each match day, which is a big job with Sir Alex, believe me, because I could tell you some stories there. And
the score.
So I used to have a good laugh, and if Sir Alex walked out, I used to be walking out just behind him, and then you had to stand alongside the bench there, and you know, you'd be one of his staff. So
did you ever experience the hairdryer treatment or the teacups off the wall and stuff?
I have seen that once or twice, but I don't speak on the radio about
it. To get out to CIT for the emerging talent, but just one more game for you to predict there. Obviously on Monday the lads will be previewing Bolton and Chelsea, but Yeovil Town are home to Rochdale tomorrow. How do you see that one going?
It's a long way to go for the Rochdale players. I'm not sure whether they've had an overnight stay or what, you know. So Probably not with the budget they've got, so it might be a difficult game, and you know, Rochdale are a good to watch, but it's a long way to go. So, but I'd expect Rochdale to get a point there.
Okay, well, I'm sure they'll be happy enough with that against Yeovil Town in the League One. Let's hope so. We'll be back after these.
The new weekly 1 hour dedicated GAA magazine programme is here. Square Ball. Listen every Tuesday after 6 p.m. evening news. Square Ball will both preview and review all major local and national games. So don't miss your chance to listen and text your views each week. The weekly 1 hour GAA dedicated magazine programme, Square Ball, Tuesday evenings from 6 till 7 p.m. right here on 93.1 Life FM. Sporting Life, the most up-to-date info and analysis of GAA, soccer, rugby and everything happening in the sporting world for Cork and beyond.
You can never write Cork off, and as Pat said, the one team they will be wary of all the teams left in the championship are Cork.
Ever the optimistic, the Cork analysts.
We can get the doom and gloom anywhere else, so we have to keep the good side up here on Life FM.
That's true. We're going to move on to football.
Each Monday night and Fridays, 6 to 7 p.m. here on 93.1 Life FM. This is Sporting Life.
Hi, this is Denise O'Sullivan from the Irish women's soccer team, and you are listening to Sporting Life on 93.1 Life FM.
Yes, that was Denise O'Sullivan, who was